What's up, peeps? How are you? Hope you're doing well. Saturday, I don't know, what is it, October 7th, 2023. Seems like I haven't been here for a while, but that's only because I was posting a video every day over the summer, I guess. I think it's only been like a week and a half. Not too long, but I'm back. And I'll keep this short. I don't want to ramble on and on about this because I've noticed this bores a lot of people. But I hit 1,000 subscribers. It happened a couple of days ago. My goal at the start of the summer was to get there by September 30th. I got there on October 5th. So 5 days, took me 5 extra days. Yeah, well, what's 5 days between friends? You know what I'm saying? So I got there. So a few of you recognize that and were really nice about it. Thank you very much. What it means, I have no clue. To this very minute, I still haven't made $1. Not not a single penny have I made from this channel. So hitting 1,000 subscribers, I have no clue what it means from here on out. It looks like, I don't know, it looks like commercials might start popping up on my videos. I don't know. Yeah, you guys will have to tell me. But apparently, it's supposed to raise me up into the top tier in terms of monetization. So we'll see. I'm not sure. Like I said before, I haven't made a single dime money wise. So yeah, though the rules with YouTube, and I've said this before, but you hit that bottom tier, which I hit, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, and basically you can make money by people donating. And a few of you did that. Thank you very much. And then you get up to the higher tier, and then you can make money with the donations in addition to advertising and then people who pay for YouTube Premium. And so you get a cut of that action. YouTube only gives you 55%, so they take half your shit, which is nuts to me, but it is what it is. YouTube basically takes 50%, they take half. So I can imagine like people like me who don't have a ton of subscribers really compared to others, might take a long time to get paid because they also require you to have at least $100 in your balance to cash out. I have like $54 right now. The whole time, last 3 months, I've been able to monetize, or 2 months, whatever it is. It's up to $54. So I don't know. Maybe I'll hit 100 soon now that I'm 1,000 subscribers up. I don't know. In fact, I think I'm 1,002 now or something. A few more came in. Yeah, and apparently YouTube, and this makes sense. YouTube said that once you hit 1,000, subscribers are easier to get because people see that you have 1K, and apparently that when people see that 1K, they're like, "Oh, well, this channel obviously is good. People are subscribing to it. He's got 1,000 subscribers, or she's got 2,000 subscribers, so they must have something to say." As all of you know, I have nothing to say. But hey, if people see 1,000 subscribers and they subscribe, I'm not going to argue with that. So I jest, of course. I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. I'm still shocked that I got over 100 subscribers, much less 1,000. So it's really cool, man. I deeply appreciate all of you. Seriously, because ultimately I feel like I just have opinions, and but you guys respect what I say, and I respect you deeply for having that respect for me. How's that for a convoluted sentence? Anyway, yeah, I'm at 1,000. That's it. I'm not going to go on and on about it too much. Until I start making some fucking money. I don't know, what else can I say? I had this pipe dream that once I was monetizing, I'd be able to get a monthly paycheck from YouTube, and I'd be able to supplement my income. No, not even close, man. Not even close. So hey, I'm learning. I'm sure other people are in this same boat. But hey, 1,000 is a milestone. I feel really lucky, honestly, that people have seeked me out because I really haven't promoted this channel anywhere. I haven't promoted myself. You guys do that. Like my dude Magnus in Sweden, he posts my shit on on Instagram, and I know I get a couple of subscribers that happen that way. Magnus, thanks, man. Uh, Liz, Azillarod, you've helped me out. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. There are multiple names out there that have really supported what I do. So thanks. That's my long-winded way of saying thank you guys. Because I wouldn't have shit here on YouTube if it weren't for you guys. So I'm happy that you appreciate me and what I do. Today, I was listening to this album this week, and I did an earlier Thrill Kill Kult album. I did the first album. I See Good Spirits, I See Bad Spirits. And I'll do Confessions of a Knife at some point, but this is my favorite Thrill Kill album. The first album's a close second. And there are really only 3 Thrill Kill albums that I really like, the first 3. After Sexplosion, I haven't been able to follow what Thrill Kill does. I haven't really appreciated it. It's just an opinion, all right? But I feel like this is when Thrill Kill became Thrill Kill, right? Like they're still kind of doing this vibe. Lots of sex, lots of disco, that vibe, you know what I mean? They still do now what they started here over 30 years ago. Lots of this sexual imagery, lots of skin, lots of pussy, which will lead me into this next release. And I think that's why I like this album. It's just fun. And I saw these guys live on this tour, which was really fun. It was a really interesting, unique live show. And I'll talk about that. But yeah, this is Sexplosion. And it's exactly what this title says. Yeah. Just lots of sexy themes, lots of fucking, lots of pussy, lots of cock. That's just the theme. It's funny and it's fun. They have a sense of humor. And I remember when they put this album out, their first 2 albums, they had that heavy Satan satanic imagery. I'll show this. I still have the original shrink wrap on this Wax Trax press. So sorry for the glare there. But this is the original Wax Trax pressing. I saw them live on this tour, and I guess it endears me to this album even more. It was a really cool live show. It was unforgettable. I remember I don't remember a lot of live shows, but I remember this tour. They did some really unforgettable shit. I remember Frankie was up on stage and he was sitting at a bar. They had like this makeshift bar out there. And he was just up there singing like a lounge singer, like, Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin would, and he was singing Martini Built for Two. And he was just sitting up there at the bar drinking. It was just fun. He was just chilling out and having fun. I just remember thinking, oh, these guys aren't Satan worshipers at all. They never were, but when you're young and impressionable, you see all that imagery from the first 2 records, and you're like, oh, wow. These guys are really sinister and dark, but they weren't. They were just kind of flirting with all that goofy devil imagery. And they totally shifted gears here and showed that they have a really deep sense of humor. And this is a fun album because of it. Lots of humor, lots of fun, and lots of fucking. And what's not fun about that? Good stuff. And that reminds me, too, at the live show, I have fleeting images of this, but I remember like there was someone up on a cross, and they had a big dildo on, and someone came out and like fake filleted this person hung on a cross. It was pretty, I don't know, it's pretty risque stuff. You don't see that in a live show, right? It's not very often you see that. I remember the crowd was definitely enjoying it. It got a reaction. And yeah, it was all on the Sexplosion tour. They put on a show, I like that when it comes to concerts. I like seeing a show. It's, seeing a bunch of people just stand there screaming into their microphones is fucking boring. I like light shows and stage shows. Like, give me some entertainment, man. And these guys definitely delivered in that department. This is just a really cool album. I think it's top to bottom. There are a couple of songs that are, okay. But most of the tracks on here are very, very strong. International Sin Set, good way to start. Leather Sex is a great album. Or great song, sorry. Maybe the best song on here, Leather Sex. Martini Built for Two, I mentioned that. Some really good cut. My favorite cut on here is probably Mystery Babylon, the last song. That and Leather Sex, it's a close race. But they just keep that theme throughout the record. It flows very well. It's fun. And it's very well presented, well produced, well executed. I think it's their most slick album. Albums they've done after this are very slick, but almost too much so. They kept a little of that darkness and sleaze in the production that they have from the first couple of albums. It kind of carries over into this. This is kind of a bridge album. They were ditching what they'd done before, and then they were embracing what they would do even up to this day. And like I mentioned before, I haven't really been able to get into anything they've done after this. I know a lot of you love what they do after this. That's cool. I don't. I think it's a little too clean. Musically. I don't mean lyrically. These guys are a dirty, filthy bunch of bastards, and that's why they're fun. But musically, it's just a little too sheeny. This is, it's dark in the right spots and bright and clear and loud and well produced in the right spots. It's just, it hits all the right spots for me. Sexplosion. Really, really cool record. I think this came out in 91, right? I want to say 1991. Let me pull this inner sleeve out. Maybe it says here. Now you can see why I have so many subscribers, because I entertain people by staring at something and reading without saying a word. Because how fun is that? Well, anyway, I think this came out in 1991. Here are the lyrics. You get the lyrics. You get some, yeah, get some more skin here. There's the other side. This is a nice press. All Wax Trax records were pressed well, and this was toward the latter end of Wax Trax pressing vinyl. This is probably one of the last albums they pressed on vinyl, because in the early '90s they just stopped doing it. But they did here. This pressing's all right. There's a lot of music that's squeezed. This is like an hour-long album, and it's a single record, so there's almost a half an hour of music on each side. So it doesn't sound as good as it could be, but it sounds fine. It's mastered as well as it could be after squeezing all that music onto one side. Really fun album, and I've been listening to this week, and I thought I'd talk about it. Really enjoy it. Sexplosion. Let me know if this is your favorite record from them. I just think it's it's the beginning of a new era for them. They dropped the satanic stuff from the first couple of albums, and then they just kind of reintroduced themselves into the future. As far as I know, they still kind of have this vibe, right? The whole sexy vibe. Now this is a reissue that came out a few years ago on Wax Trax. I have to say, these reissues from Wax Trax that they've been putting out are really good. They reissued Love's Secret Domain from Coil. I talked about that, I don't know, last year, 2 years ago, something like that. Their reissues are really nice. I picked this up because I just really like this album, and they pressed it on double wax with some extra tracks, which is the reason I picked it up. And I like supporting Wax Trax, I like them. I've liked them for a long time. I like what they do. I like what they represent. I want to support them. So I picked this up. It sounds really good. And this one's on pink wax, which I thought that's the perfect color for this album. Lots of pussy. Why not make the records pink? Makes total sense to me. And here are the inner sleeves. Here is the updated version of the Wax Trax insert postcard. They still do that. You gotta love that. And you get slightly different inner sleeve. You see how it's like a pink background there? Same image, but different colors. This is exactly the same, the lyrics on disc 1. And they space out the records on 2 pieces of wax. You gotta love that. Now, what I wasn't so keen on is They do space out tracks on 2 pieces of wax, but not the album tracks. All of the whole album is on one record again here. Here it is in all of its pink glory. They do cram the record onto one disc. I thought that was odd, but they wanted to make room for the bonus tracks on the second record. So whatever. It's, you know what? It sounds pretty good. For a big piece of pink plastic, it could have been done incorrectly, but it wasn't. It was pressed pretty well, and it sounds pretty good. This is the whole album on the first disc. And this is the reason I picked up this release, is because of what's on the second disc. Second disc has its own inner sleeve. Here you go. Bonus 12-inch. What do you think? Bonus 12-inch right there. Do you think that's an accident? I don't think so. And bonus tracks. Nice, like old school glossy inner sleeve too. Wax Trax is doing it right. Side A, Sexplosion Mega Mix. And it is. It's like, shit. It seemed like it went on for like 15, 20 minutes, this thing. So that was the main reason I got it. Sexplosion is one of my favorite cuts on here, and you get this really long, extended mix. And it was good. It's good. I recommend it. Any Way You Wanna, Sex on Wheels, Midnight Marauder Mix, and Leather Sex Remix. This Leather Sex Remix, I think's been released before. When I listened to it, I'm like, I think I've heard this before. These, though, I've never heard, these other two. Maybe they were released somewhere else. I don't know, but I haven't heard them. Anyway, if you're into this album, I recommend picking up the reissue. And don't let the fact it's on pink wax stop you, because it sounds pretty good. Wax Trax is really doing a nice job of not insulting their clientele and their customers by putting out shitty presses. They've been putting out good presses. Very nice stuff. I like it. Good stuff. Now, I'm going to talk about some singles. They released Sexplosion as a single, and I have the 12-inch somewhere, but I couldn't find it. I looked for it for this video, and I couldn't find it. Sorry, man. It is what it is. I was able to find a few other things, though, and these aren't very exciting, but this is a Wax Trax US promo for Sex on Wheels, a single from the album. You get a remix of Dream Baby, which is a good song. Not exciting, but it does have a sticker there. Just a plain black. Oh, I think there's a press sheet in here. Yeah, there is. As I've mentioned before, I keep all the promos I've received over the years. I've really tried to be diligent about keeping all the press releases with the release, and here it is. I kept it together. Here is the press release for this, Sex on Wheels. I'll read a little bit of this. Or maybe the whole thing. What do you think? Enclosed, you will find the promotional-only single Sex on Wheels by My Life of the Thrill Kill Cult, first from the forthcoming album Sexplosion, coming June 17th. Sex on Wheels is a morality tale of sorts concerning love and lust on that open drag strip known as the Mind Way. You Thrill Kill Cult fans know what that is. Cult leaders Groovy Man and Buzz McCoy were joined by new female vocalist Secret Dame for the Sexplosion sessions. Their new sound features a toned-down reliance on samples and sequencing, a good thing, and a new emphasis on souped-up guitar riffs, honky-tonk keyboards, and Peter Gunn-esque horns. Really, I don't just make this stuff up. If you think their idea of fun is drag, then you've never been to paradise. On the flip side, TKK takes you into the depths of Saturday Night Fever disco hell for a spin on the dance floor with Dream Baby. Buzz steps up to the mic for a rare vocal appearance, and the seduction is on. Come on, the Sexplosion has begun. Look for My Life of the Thrill Kill Cult on the road with a full 8-piece band for the Sexplosion US tour beginning late June. That was the tour I went to. And keep your eyes peeled for the Thrill Kill Cult America's Sexiest Home Video Contest. Details to be announced. Does anybody know what that is? You could win an all-expenses-paid trip for 2 to Chicago. Spend a weekend at one of the city's most romantic love nests, trust us, and catch the band's Chicago gig. More, and then the guy who wrote this, their promoter. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of fun to keep all this stuff together, don't you think? Why not? Makes it more fun and more collectible and just better. Sex on Wheels is not my favorite Thrill Kill song. I don't know. I felt like that was the single. They were writing a hit, and they did. Probably the most, I shouldn't say most boring, least interesting track on the album. Um, yeah, as I look at these songs again, Sex on Wheels is probably my least favorite on the album. Continental Touch, that's a great song. Dream Baby, that's a great song. Princess of the Queens. Yeah, Sex on Wheels is the least interesting. It's not bad, but it is what it is. It's a hit. This is another boring looking record, but I thought I'd bring it up because it was here. This is the International Sin Set, US promo 12-inch. Got some remixes on here. Nothing exciting to see. No press release came with this one. You get the club mix of Leather Sex, which I think is the one on that re-release of Sexplosion. Martini Built for Two, Daddy O mix. Oh yeah, Daddy O. Daddy O was that was the dude from D Light, right? Daddy O, the D Light guy. Someone, if I'm not right, correct me. And then you get a couple of remixes of International Sin Set. Good song, good 12-inch. I'd recommend this one. Now, this I bring up because it came out in the same era. It wasn't on the album, but this is my personal favorite Thrill Kill record. This, because it's hot. This would have fit on the Sexplosion album. This came out the year before, 1990, I want to say. I'm pretty sure about that. Because it's hot. Or a girl doesn't, get killed by a make-believe lover because it's hot. This is a fantastic song. If I had to pick one Thrill Kill song to live with the rest of my life and I could only have one, it would be this. I'm pretty sure this came out post Confessions of a Knife, pre-Sexplosion. And this was the first indication that they were moving over to the Sexplosion sound. This is just sleazy disco. 10 minutes of it, too. And then you get a remix of A Daisy Chain for Satan on the B-side. Get your picture of Satan there. So the devil imagery was still there, but the sound was changing. This is just a glistening, well-polished, souped-up disco madness track. It's so good, man, because it's hot. I can remember playing this when I first started DJing raves, and I would play techno most of the time. I would play Because It's Hot. The crowd would love it. It's disco techno. Really cool vocals, too. Yeah, just my favorite Thrill Kill song. I wanted to show this. Excellent 12-inch. And if you're a Thrill Kill fan, I can't imagine you don't have this. My other favorite record from them is that one they did with KMFDM, The Days of Swine and Roses and Naive. They remixed each other. I was going to hold that record up, but I've already talked about it. I had talked about the KMFDM Naive album a couple years ago. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. And that reminds me too, I want to politely ask you guys to make sure you search my past videos before you ask me or request something, because a lot of times you guys ask if I do a video on a certain band, and the fact is I already have. So do a little research before you ask me questions. All right, a lot of you tend to make comments too, like you guys will say you need to hear this, and I literally talk about that release in that video. So watch the whole video before you ask questions. Okay, that's happened a number of times. Like, I'll post a video and within 2 minutes someone will make a comment. It's like, yeah, that video is a half an hour long. I know you didn't watch all of it. So do me the courtesy of doing your research and watching my videos before you comment. Because yeah, there's been a lot of times where you guys were like, listen to this. You got to go listen to this. It's great. And it's like, yeah, I talk about that in this very video. Come on, people, help me out here. Anyway, this is My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult's finest album. And this is the reissue. And this is the original version on Wax Trax. I guess you can kind of see the color palette maybe is a little different, right? This one's a little faded. I've had this for over 30 years, so yeah, maybe it looked more like this when I got it. I don't know. But yeah. I'll show the newer one because it looks nicer. And that definitely looks nice. Let's just appreciate that as I fade out, shall we? Until next time.